Okay, so today I want to talk to you about how to work smart, especially if you got a wholesale model or if you're doing any kind of real estate. You want to put the right people in the right place. So I want to tell you about Eugene. Eugene works for me he hasn't been here with me for that long of a time, maybe about 30 to 45 days. Now, when I first met Eugene, I couldn't understand a single word he was saying. Eugene is from China. He's recently, or somewhat recently, immigrated here, and he hadn't been long here. It hadn't been long enough that he totally lost his accent. So I remember one time he calls me on the phone. We're kind of going back and forth. I'm trying to figure out what Eugene's saying, and then I realized what Eugene was saying was that he wanted to come on board and work with us. And we were bringing on a couple more people to help us with our wholesale deals. Now, the first thought that came to me, I'm like, Eugene, are you sure you're going to be able to move this stuff? Even I'm kind of having a little bit of a hard time understanding you. Talked to him a couple more times, brought him in, and here's the reality. He's been with us here for 30 days, and the reason I talked to you about him is that in the last 15 minutes, I saw an email going between him and Jason, who's in charge of all my wholesaling sales guys. And he had another contract, and I could see he had a contract yesterday. He might have had 2 contracts the day before. So why is it I couldn't understand Eugene 30 or so days ago, and now he's become a superstar? Because Eugene has got a whole community he can go after. Eugene has got that whole Chinese connection out there. And so here's my point as you look at the landscape of your business and what you're doing. I always talk about having the importance of having the right people in mind. But the other thing that I want you to think about is people that can open up niches for you. We don't necessarily think like that. What kind of niche can that person open up and all that? Eugene is a no-brainer. Matter of fact, it really didn't take me that long is the way I'm portraying right now to realize Eugene was the right guy. He's very personable, he's hilarious, and he's got connections here and back in China, so that's why I actually brought him in pretty quickly into an interview. But earlier today, a buddy of mine that also I do a bunch of deals with, he was here and he brought a gentleman named Chris here. And the reason Chris was here is that he used to work for a hedge fund. He no longer does, but he's intimately connected to about 7 or 8 different hedge funds out there. Well, guess what? If you're looking at wholesale stuff, even though we don't necessarily love working with hedge funds because of the rigidity of how they're set up, Chris said, listen, I understand how to get through those layers. So now Chris is going to come on board, not exclusively, not full time, but we're going to have a very strategic relationship with him. So as you're thinking about people to bring on board and people to do things for you, don't think just like globally, well, that person looks pretty good at sales, or that person looks pretty good at negotiating, or that person looks pretty good at making calls or whatever. Think strategically. Is there a particular niche this individual can go after? Is there a possibility of some kind of a relationship that this person could lead me to? And when you start thinking strategically, when you bring the right people on board, what that actually does is it accentuates their talents. Eugene, again, funny, hilarious, personable, a little bit hard to understand, who cares? But by niching him out into the community where he's from, it accentuates his ability to sell, accentuates his personality, accentuates his understanding of real estate. So think globally, put the right people in the right places that have the talent to do it, but then think strategically below that to make sure you're also niching them out and figuring out exactly where their talents fit into your corporation. I hope that helps. You got to be thinking like that when you're working with people. Hey, you guys know what we do here. We do a ton of deals, and I have a one-on-one coaching program where I coach people just like you to help become very, very successful real estate investors. So if you're a buyer or you know other buyers literally all over the world that are looking for deals in the Georgia market, specifically concentrated towards Atlanta, you need to be on our buyers list. By now, you'll see my email scrolling across the screen. Send me an email. Just say, add me to the buyers list. And on a daily basis, you're going to get some terrific, both ROI and equity-driven deals emailed right directly to you through email. The other thing, if you're looking to become a successful investor, whether you're brand new, just getting started, or whether you're doing it already and you're looking to be a bigger, more sophisticated, more savvy investor, I know I could help you do that. Again, you could either send me an email to learn more about my one-on-one coaching program, or better yet, right below this video, there's a link right directly to coachingbypeter.com. You can go straight there and learn more about how I could help you become very successful in this industry.